So this is a size 42-inch sweater that I'm doing for myself, and I'm doing it in knit 2, purl 2, basket stitch. It's a 2x4, so it's knit 2, purl 2 for 4 rows, and then changing again to purl 2, knit 2 for 4 rows. But this is a 42-inch, and I've cast on 126 stitches for the rib, and I've knit the rib in knit 2, purl 2, 2x2 rib, and I've knit 18 rows. And then I started the pattern, and I started with this being a knit 2, purl 2, the pattern that you're doing is knit 2, purl 2. So you don't want to do a knit over the knit and a purl over the knit, or else you're going to have another 4 rows of rib. So you start with purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, instead of knit 2, purl 2, which is what I've done for the rib. It's a very simple pattern. Just knit 2, purl 2. I should blow it up a little bit. You can see it's just knit 2, purl 2, it's knit 2, purl 2. And that's all it is to the pattern. Knit 2, purl 2. And that row I started off with knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. But when I've done 4 rows, I've done 2 rows. I want to do 4. We'll be starting that row with purl 2, knit 2. So you're doing knit over the purl and purl over the knit after 4 rows. That's as simple as that. Now I'll be knitting that until, I am knitting till to 15 inches, but anybody that wants to follow this to whatever length is necessary that you will want. And when I get up to the armholes, I will come back and show how to do the shaping. So this is a bit more of the sweater. I've finished the back, and I gave you instructions up to the armholes. Well, I'm up to the armholes now, and I'll blow this up a little bit. Down. And I cast off 6 stitches at the beginning of 2 rows, 6 stitches there and 6 stitches there. And then the next 4 rows I cast off 2 stitches at the beginning, so cast off 2 stitches there, 2 stitches the second row, 2 stitches the third row, and 2 stitches the fourth row. And then I decreased 1 stitch at each end of the next 10 rows, and that left me with 86 stitches. And then I carried on up until the back measured 8.5 inches, which was 60 rows for me. And then when I got to the shoulders, I cast off 12 stitches at the beginning of the next 4 rows. So there's 12 stitches there. I cast off 12 stitches there, 12 stitches there, and 12 stitches there. And I've just noticed I've dropped a stitch there. I'm going to have to take that row back out down to there and pick that stitch up. And then I was left with 36 stitches, and I put those stitches onto a holder for the pick up for the neck. And that's the size I'm doing. I haven't got all the sizes written down here, but I'll blow it up a little bit more. Anybody that might want to see my size is the 42. That's what I'm doing for myself, the 42. And it's 6 stitches and 7.5 rows to the inch on 325mm and 4mm needles, and I have, for my size, it should measure 44 inches when it's finished. Be 16 inch for the side and 17.5 for the sleeve. These are measurements for myself, so anyone else, I have 36, 38, 40, 42 and 44, but I'm going to knit those ones first before I do them. So I casted on 126 stitches, knit 2 by 2 rib for 18 rows, then change to 4mm needles and commence the pattern, which was row 1 was purl 2, knit 2, repeat to the end of the row, and row 2 was knit 2, purl 2, repeat to the end of the row, and rows 3 and 4 as for rows 1 and 2. And rows 5 was knit 2, purl 2, repeat to the end of the row. And row 6 was purl 2, knit 2, repeat to the end of the row. And rows 7 and 8 as for rows 5 and 6. And these 8 rows form the pattern, continue until the work measures. I've done 15 inches. I've got 16 on there, but I've got 15 inches for myself to the armholes. And then cast off 6 stitches beginning of the next 2 rows. And then cast off 2 stitches beginning of the next 4 rows, and that leaves you with 106 stitches. And then you decrease 1 stitch each end of the next 10 rows until you have 86 stitches, and then knit 8.5 from the armhole, and then cast off 12 stitches beginning of the next 4 rows and place the remaining 36 stitches onto a holder. And that's as far as I've got. This is part 1 of the tutorial. I'll come back with the rest when I knit the rest.